everybody, it's Rhonda again with another Craft Minute. I'm a member of the staff of Botetourt County Libraries. I'm the librarian in Fincastle, Virginia, and just excited to be with you again in another little video. I want to say hi to all my fellow crafters. It's been a long time since our Fincastle group, the fiber art class, has been able to meet, and I miss all you wonderful ladies. Today, I'm not going to do a lap quilt. I want to show you something that one of our wonderful ladies shared with us one time. A big shout out to Judy because she's got a lot of us, and Judy, you know who you are. She's got a lot of us doing this now, and it's wonderful. This is straight up crochet. If you can do double crochet, and I'll show you here in a minute, you can do this. This is a nice rug that I made for a gift, and it's made out of sheets. So as you're going through your closets, maybe during this time of self-isolation, you might find in your linen closet some sheets that are a little past their prime, and instead of giving them to Goodwill or using them on the pets' beds, let's take those sheets and make something pretty with them. So you can take the different colors of sheets and match them up. This was 2 colors of blue and a white that had the blue pattern in it. Now, it doesn't have to match because the old-timey braided rugs usually had multiple colors in them. They didn't always just blend. They used what they had. And those are beautiful. But they're very time-consuming because you have to do all the braiding and then you have to attach the braids to each other. This is just crocheting. And you're going to take those sheets, whatever color they are, and you're going to cut them in strips, okay? About 1 inch, or if you, for a rug, about 1 inch, in strips, like this. Make the little cut at the beginning of the sheet, at the edge, and then just rip them. And that's kind of fun because it gets out a lot of frustrations. So start ripping up some sheets. If you want to make something smaller, like a little coaster, you could make your strips about 1/2 inch. Okay? So you've taken your sheets and you've cut them into strips. So now you just have all this big old pile of strip laying around. Hey, let's see if we can get a new one started. Okay? So I have my strips. I'm going to make a loop. I'm going to fold that loop over the long part of the string, the strip of material, and pull it through. And give it a little tug. That means I've got a little slip knot here. Slip my crochet hook through. And I can tighten it up. I don't want it real tight because, like I said, I tend to crochet a little looser than some because I don't like to fight the strip of material. So I want it looser. Maybe not that loose. Alright, so what I'd like to do is I need 10 chains. Okay, this one counts as 1. So I hook the material and pull it through. All right, so that gives me, this is my 2nd chain that I'm working on. And I'm pulling that through. And 4. And I will be right back. Let me get 10. And I'll be right back. Okay, so now I have 10 in my chain. And how do I count them? Well, as you see the tops of these bumps, that is a stitch. So I have 10 in my chain. And that's where I want to start. This is going to be a smaller oval. Now, how do I get my first stitch? Well, I'm going to put my thumbs and my finger on this 10th stitch because I know that's where I want to start my row. So I'm going to then chain 3. There's 1 and 2, and actually this is so loose, I think 2 is going to be just fine. So that's going to act as my first stitch actually, okay? Now I'm going to do double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over, and where in the world do I put this first stitch? Well, you see the top of this one? That's my 10th stitch, and that's where I put my crochet hook. I pull it through, and now I have 3 on my crochet hook. So I want to pull the strip through the first 2 on my crochet hook. You can wrangle with it until you get it over, and then I will pull that strip through the next 2. All right. Like I said, I like to do it loose, especially in the beginning, because I don't like to have to fight the material. So now you can see we have 1 and 2. So my next stitch is going to come right here at the top of this bump. And I know that that's the next one, because if I pull this one up, I can see where it goes back down into beside it, so I know that this is the next strip. So my needle has to go right in there. So I would do a yarn over, and I'll take it right in that hole and pull it up. So I have 3 pieces on my crochet hook, and I'm going to pull that through the first 2 and then through the next 2. And I can tell you that the material does make a giant difference. This is a nice soft cotton, and it slides along really well. That piece that I had started with a few minutes ago to show you was a cotton blend, and it did not slide. It was just miserable to work with. Now, it would work once you got into it and you got this started, but I can tell you that this first set right here, these first 2 rows, that's just the hardest part. Hang in there and don't give up, because once you get this first 2 rows gone, it goes so fast and you're going to love it. All right, so I'm going to do the rest of this, and then I'll come back at the end of this one and we'll show how to make a curve. Okay? Okay, so now I have my first row. This is the original chain, and this is my first row of double stitch. Now I want an oval, so I've got to go on the other side of this original chain. But to get there, I've got to add some extra stitches so that I can get a curve here. To get that extra stitch, I'm going to just do a simple single crochet like a chain here on the corner. And I'm thinking that I might have to do, well, we'll try 1 extra and see if that works. That's enough. So I'm going to yarn over. I'm going in the same hole. You can see where that one goes. That's a giant hole now because I had to pull it when I was making that double chain, but a double stitch. I'm going to go in that same hole and do double stitch here. Okay. Now this is going to actually be the end of that row, so you can see that I'm still not even to the other side. So I'm going to have another extra stitch. I'm going to do a chain here. That one's too tight, so let's pull it up a little bit. And we'll do a chain here. Okay, now you can see that I'm starting to turn the corner, but I'm going to have to do another one another double stitch in that same hole to get me to the other side. So yarn over in that same hole, pull through the first two, then the second two. And you have to contend right now with this little tag because we'll fool with that at the very end. So now you can see that I'm starting to make the curve, right? But since I have two here, I want to even it out, and I'm going to put a third one. So I'm going to make another chain. Okay, and then I'm going to do another double in that same hole and try to ignore that little tag that's sticking up. He won't be in your way on the next couple rows. And then pull this through. Now, you can see we've made the corner, but I haven't started on this row yet. I'm still in the end here. So I'm going to do one extra. Okay. Now I'm ready to come back down the other side of the chain and start the other side of my beginning oval. Yarn over. All right, so this was my first one. Where's my next stitch? You can see I don't want to go in the same one where this is. So I want to go in the next one. When you're doing this, it's going to be a whole lot easier. Let's see, I forgot to yarn over. So let's yarn over and go in the other side of that chain stitch. And now I am on the other side of the chain and I'm coming down that row. And when you get all the way down at the other end of this chain, you're going to think about adding those extra stitches again to make it curve. It's trial and error on the corners. There's probably a pattern, but just use your best judgment, because I think you'll figure out how, by the way it looks and how it makes its curve. So there you go. There's a start. You keep working on this, and when I come back with the next craft that uses strips too, I'll show you how far I've gotten with my next rug. All right?